Hi, Peter. We're going to talk about one of your favorite topics again, fragrance. So we're going to
Amazing.
do a quick fire round. The people
Okay.
in the community have asked some questions that I need to put to you. So let's get on with it. Eau de toilette or eau de parfum? What's the difference?
Strength and concentration. Eau de parfum is can be up to twice as strong as eau de toilette. Strong doesn't necessarily mean in terms of the throw of the smell, it can mean in terms of the longevity. However, an eau de parfum containing lemon will not last as long as an eau de parfum containing jasmine. So it really is very sort of ingredient specific.
Cool. Okay, fragrance notes. Top notes, middle notes, and base notes. What's the difference?
Top note is a light note, which is immediately recognizable on the whole. So that would be your orange notes, your lemongrass, your lemon, your apple, cassis, anything like that, which immediately lots of people love and they recognize, and it gives you a, oh, I like that because I know it. They disappear after about 20 minutes, half an hour. They're replaced by the heart notes and the base notes. It's not they're not always like 20 minutes, 3 hours, but
yeah,
your middle notes tend to be your big florals from your jasmine, your tuberose, your ylang ylang, your rose particularly. And then really your heart notes tend to be your woods, your leathers, your ouds, your spices, etc., your musks, etc., etc. But you can have a fragrance which is just musk. CK1, for example, is just one note. So CK1 is a top note, a middle note, and a base note.
yeah.
Eccentric molecules is the same. But some of the really great ones have these amazing journeys.
Yeah, I love
where
that.
you literally are like, oh my God. Which is why it is advisable, ideally, to try a fragrance on your skin and live with it for a good few hours.
Absolutely.
To check that you love the game.
Yeah, love it. Okay, best places to spray a fragrance. The pulse points.
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, when I spray a fragrance, and I've got one here, you obviously avoid the face and you make sure your mouth's clear, but I tend to go.
Yeah, me too. I actually just
I don't do.
Spray. Yeah, I actually spray.
Yeah, I don't tend to do the wrist thing.
Yeah, my clothes, my pillows, my body, literally, décolletage, behind the ears as well sometimes.
Chanel said spray perfume everywhere you want to be kissed.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and that's yeah. Anyway, moving on swiftly, what is fragrance layering? Now, I'm a huge fan of fragrance layering, but if you want to just let everyone know.
Yeah, that's basically where you use as many of the body preparations or products that you can do. So a typical example would be you would bathe in the bath oil, the bath and shower gel. You might use a fragrance soap. So when you actually get out of the bath or shower, you know, your skin is already delicately fragranced with the aroma of whichever one you're buying. Then, of course, you know, you might use a deodorizing spray used all over the body. It's never an antiperspirant.
Yeah.
Then you normally have a choice, particularly at the very higher end, of a body cream or a body lotion. It just depends how much time you've got. Body creams are richer, but take a bit longer to, you know, absorb into the skin. You might get a dusting powder. They're sort of coming back into fashion a little bit more now, or a hair mist.
Hair mist.
Basically, what it means is, I love a hair mist.
I do.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
What it basically means is you haven't got lots of different fragrance notes going off all over your body. Because if you think about it, if you put on a cocoa butter body lotion and then a pepperminty deodorant spray and then your Chanel No. 5, you've got three very differing things going on there. And it's about really your entire body being fragranced. Also, to be fair, it tends to be the more expensive ranges, the more luxury ranges that do actually do the body preps, and they are also the most fabulous gifts because they tend to be less expensive than the perfumes, which means that you can give a gift that somebody will adore and use. It will help extend the life of their fragrance, and they will just have that whole luxury, hate the word pampering, but it is a luxury
experience.
self-care experience.
Cool. And someone else has asked, can women wear men's fragrance? And I would say 100 billion% yes, because I do that. Like, I love Dior Sauvage, Tom Ford fragrances, which I know are for him and her anyway, but like, love them all. I just think there shouldn't be this whole thing of his and hers. It's whether you like the smell or not, and if it makes you feel fabulous, then wear it.
Oh, totally. I mean, the thing is as well, men's fragrances contain heaps of flowers, but they're not in the marketing.
Yeah.
Women's fragrances contains leathers and sandalwoods and all of those. It's all marketing. You know, if you go, like, for example, in the Arabic world, where everybody loves to perfume themselves as a rule,
Yeah.
then if you go into a perfumery, there is no gender. You know, you may naturally gravitate towards a more floral fragrance, but, you know, men, women, it really, really doesn't matter. And in fact, as you so correctly said, Sarah, towards that very higher end of fragrances, like your Frédéric Malle, your Armani Prive, your Chanel Les Exclusives, you know, the ones that tend to cost £200 plus.
Yeah.
There is no gender put onto them.
Exactly.
Because it is totally up to you. If you love them, wear them.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, we're going into Christmas, and everyone's going to be buying fragrances online. Obviously, like we said, we can't test them. But if you're buying a gift for someone else, what would your top tips be? I would actually say,
going back to something we just said, actually, if you know what they love, get them part of the body line if it exists.
Yeah, good idea.
So if they love Angel, get them the bath and shower gel. They'll love it. It's the sort of thing you may not spend the money on yourself.
Yeah.
If you don't know what they like, go for a safe option. And good fragrances for that would be the likes of La Vie est Belle by Lancôme and Pleasures by Estée Lauder.
J'adore is a good one as well.
J'adore's lovely. You know, go for a big seller, a nice name, and one that is a sort of light to medium floral with some fruity notes. Nobody will dislike it. It may not be their favorites, but you wouldn't buy somebody Poison or Opium or Angel if you didn't know. So I tell you what is a great one, actually, if you don't know, is Chanel Chance.
Yeah.
Really pretty.
I know,
you know
it's so pretty.
It's pretty, and the clue is, for female and for male ones, look for light colours in the juice. So look for something that's transparent or very lightly coloured. And if the bottle in the female case is like a very light pink or a light yellow, the chances are it's going to be quite a transparent, bright fragrance. I'd rather get something that I would wear every day, or I'd have as a holiday fragrance, than something that I didn't like because it was too strong. Nobody ever says, "Oh, it's a bit too fresh for me," or it's a bit too clean, or it's a bit too pretty. They'll find a home for that. What they don't want is too sweet, too dark, too spicy. Yeah. So it sounds like a compromise, but go for the safe option.
And also, look out for miniatures. A little box of miniatures.
Good thinking.
This one.
Good thinking.
And it's got 6 signature fragrances in, and it's super cute. And people then can experiment and decide which ones they like, and then buy that. But I think it's a really nice gift idea. Okay, so now we're gonna do this whole thing about personalities of fragrance. So if you're classic and elegant, what type of fragrance would you suggest? Just a couple.
Okay, I mean the one that immediately springs to mind would be Chanel No. 5.
I said that. I was thinking that. Yeah.
I mean you're talking the classic powdery aldehydic ladylike fragrance, but remember it's got that jasmine in to give it a hint of naughtiness. There's a reason why Chanel No. 5, nearly 100 years on, it'll be 100 years old on May the 5th next year.
Right.
There's a reason why it's still one of the world's best sellers and will always be the world's most famous fragrance. It is bloody good.
Yeah, and there's no two ways about it. It's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and you know what? You may not like it yet, but you will love it at some point.
Yeah. So
That's
I would
your
say,
classic
like,
elegance.
even, you know, I'd go like, obviously we mentioned J'adore, Guerlain, Shalimar.
Oh, yeah, I would say any Guerlain before Samsara and including
Yeah,
Samsara. So if you go to the Guerlain counter and ask for anyone pre or including Samsara, I think they've gone off the boil of late. I
yeah.
think they're trying to chase a very commercial market,
Yeah, yeah,
whereas,
I agree.
but the, you know, Mitsuku and Shalimar and Le
Yeah,
Bleu and Après Londe are, and
perfect.
Jiki, they
Yeah,
are masterpieces of perfume.
love it. Okay, sexy and sultry.
In sultry, the designer that immediately springs to mind is Tom Ford.
Yes.
I think Tom Ford has nailed that market.
Oh,
He's
absolutely.
managed to, he's taken a lot of, he was the first, he made M7, didn't he? He was behind M7 for a YSL.
Yeah.
And he was really the first major designer to start bringing ouds in. So sexy,
just love
sultry,
it.
woody, naughty, but does it in a really nice way.
Yeah.
And I hate Tom Ford because he's really talented. He's really good looking. Yeah, no, I love him. I mean, I think that, again, it's a bit of a cliche, old Tom Ford, but the reason that it's a cliche is because it's true.
Yeah.
His fragrances are uniformly really, really good and lovely.
I actually also love Kilian. I think that's quite.
Oh,
Trish,
if you've got the money, buy Kilian, lovely. Frederic Mal, amazing.
Yeah, Trish McAvoy's actually got one called Sexy Number 9, which, you know,
Lovely.
I've heard.
Yeah.
But then also Lancôme, La Nuit, the one in the sort of deeper purple colour. I think that's quite a good little choice as well.
Well, Lancôme are a really interesting one to think about because I think they are the most overlooked of the French perfume houses.
Yeah.
And I think they're all brilliant. I mean, some of them, they're 80s, but like Trésor and Poème need a reappraisal, really good fragrances.
Really good. You know, then you've got the Narciso Rodriguez as well,
Love.
I would say.
Yeah, Victor and Rolf. Lovely.
Yeah, Victor and Rolf, and also, I mean, I know my favourite's Gucci, the Gucci Guilty range.
I forgive Gucci for getting rid of Envy.
Oh yes, I know you've been a huge fan of that, and you were really upset. So,
why do these companies bring out these award-winning global sellers and then discontinue them? Gucci, if you're watching, be ashamed.
It is frustrating when you found that perfect fragrance.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I would say, YSL Opium Black. Those YSL Opium.
Amazing. Again, any of the YSLs, lovely.
Love it. Right, okay. Feminine and playful. I'd say feminine and playful. Maybe Daisy, Marc Jacobs Daisy.
Yeah, I think when you're in the feminine and playful, I think you're in those very young fragrances.
Yeah.
And by that I don't mean that in a rude way. They're almost like your first grown-up proper adult fragrance, and I think Daisy's a brilliant one.
Yeah.
I love the packaging. I love the happiness of it.
Yeah.
In terms of, I mean, La Vie est Belle, going back to Lancôme, that's a really good one. Any of the Moschino are great fun as well.
I would actually say about La Vie est Belle as being the good all-rounder. So forget everything.
Yeah.
You're looking for one perfume that would suit all personalities, etc. It would be La Vie est Belle, 100%.
It would be the one that I would buy as a gift for somebody that I didn't know.
Yeah.
If for whatever reason, I mean, I remember I was working actually for Fenty a few years ago when that launched, and they didn't have a fragrance, and people would come in saying, I need to get something for my mum or for my sister-in-law, and I literally, the area manager from Lancôme actually got in touch with me to thank me because I was taking 30, 40 people over a day on the run up to Christmas.
For La Vie est Belle.
Just going, it's just so lovely, you know, lovely.
Last question,
easy.
Last question.
Okay.
Suggestions for men. And I think what people mean about this one is your best suggestions if I was going to go and buy a fragrance for my partner or a guy in my family, something, what would be your best selection? I mean, obviously,
well, I think that men's fragrance has suddenly gone really good again, and we've actually got Paco Rabanne to thank for that, because 1 million.
Yeah.
I don't love it, but it kick-started the trend for proper fragrances again for men. So I would say if your budget is large, and it's quite hard to find these days, Chanel Egoiste is unbelievably good. And by the way, YouTube the advert with the shutters. Okay. It's quite unbelievably good. If you're looking for something that you could pick up anywhere really on the high street, you cannot really get any more classic and stunning than Eau Sauvage by Christian Dior. Yeah. However, Sauvage, which you know you love, Sarah, it's been a perennial bestseller now for years because it's really good. You know, Creed Aventus, again, below the budget. I would say with Creed, because Aventus has become so popular, maybe look at Silver Mountain Water or Green Irish Tweed, you know, or Himalaya. I mean, there are so many different fragrances that you could potentially look at. And other ones which are really, really great. It's a shame that you just can't go and sniff anymore these days. I know.
Your go-to.
Well, my favorite fragrance of all time is by Chanel, and it's from the Exclusives range, and it's called Sycamore. 240 quid a bottle. Obviously, if you buy it at duty free, when we can fly again, it goes down to 180 quid. But that is for 200 ml, and it lasts me about 3 or 4 years.
Oh,
so
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter.
That's all right, my darling.